Dr. Kate Hendricks Thomas, Assistant Professor of Health Promotion at Charleston Southern University, a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, a speaker, and the co-founder of Just Roll With It Wellness.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Excellence in Training Academy.
Dose of Leadership Podcast.
Life in Focus.
The Fit to Fat to Fit Experience Podcast.
The Patriot and the Preacher. And joining us today,
Dr. Kate Hendricks Thomas.
Dr. Kate Hendricks Thomas.
She's a researcher.
An author.
A yoga instructor. She loves working with military veterans.
After I left the active duty Marine Corps, I was struggling through a badly done reintegration process.
I didn't understand how tightly I was wound. I didn't understand why I was angry.
We have a really tough time with leaving the active component and navigating transition stress.
We're interested in building resilience and promoting healing for everybody.
We have some serious cultural stigma issues. I like to say you can keep your couch. And that's how a lot of our service members who are suffering feel. For female service members specifically, there are issues with social support and unit cohesion. I'm a public health professional and I'm not interested in talking about problem scope and prevalence without solution sets. We have to be talking about targeting our behavioral health interventions. And that's the question of mental fitness and mental health as a readiness issue.
I'm really interested in the notion of mental fitness training, which translates to building resilience.
Resilient traits are those traits that allow you to take a punch in the teeth, allow you to weather stress. And those can be trained, cultivated, and tested for. Mental fitness training can be assessed in the same scalable way that we assess physical fitness training.
Really, it's learning about managing your own stress response, and that can do so much. I talk about 3 umbrella concepts that do improve resilience. If you are practicing social support, self-care, and spirituality, you are better able to handle that adverse life experience.
Our major problem with veterans coming back with post-traumatic stress is that sometimes they're coming back into a community that starts to feel foreign. Reintegrating into the civilian world can be difficult, and creating a space for veterans to socialize with both civilian community members and one another is a good and a healthy thing.
Social activity and community building.
Army combat veteran Noah Galloway with Noah, Kate Hendricks, they are working to pay it forward.
It's really important to us to surround ourselves with positive buoys, people who are committed, who value the same things that you do. That gets you started on a path of growth, and it keeps you there.
People with high levels of social support very rarely suffer these negative mental health outcomes.
Nothing has more protective effect than a high level of what we call subjective religiosity, meaning you believe in a higher power and you have practices associated with that belief that you do in community with others.
I had brushed aside spiritual concerns. It was something that was easy to set aside, but it's at the center of our health.
Humans need purpose, they need connection, they need to ask the big questions, and to embrace your own definition of spirituality is really important. For me, the hard part was share the truth about how I learned some of that. And a lot of the truth there is I'm a stove toucher. I made a great many mistakes.
I felt like I had to seem very infallible and I had to seem very all-knowing.
Veterans are resilient leaders. Veterans don't need, want, or have any interest in a brokenness narrative. That's not who we are. That's not who we're going to be in the future.
I find the notion that resilience can be trained and taught and tested for, I find that incredibly empowering. All of the things that make us better warriors also make us better parents, better partners, better friends. I mean, it really translates in every area of a person's life. It's an honor, it's an absolute honor to share that.